My fellow citizens, we've come to the end of a very intense general election campaign in Trinidad and Tobago. Tomorrow, voters go to the polls to choose either a political party or a political arrangement to govern this country for the next 5 years. We should all celebrate this fundamental exercise in democracy. The People's National Movement is itself extremely proud of its own contribution to the establishment and building of our democratic traditions. Our party governed Trinidad and Tobago continuously for its first 30 years of self-government. We could have taken our country in the wrong direction, as happened with many other nations that emerged from the then decolonization process. But for us, self-determination could only have true meaning if the people determined the direction of our nation. Therefore, tomorrow, the people will decide the future of Trinidad and Tobago as we start the second decade of the 21st century. I think the choices are very clear. On the one hand, you have the People's National Movement, the longest-serving political party in the history of our country, now in its 54th year of service to Trinidad and Tobago, a proven symbol of political stability and cohesion. On the other hand, you have an agglomeration of political entities and aspirants carrying abundant and potent seeds of inner conflict and disharmony, but parading unconvincingly as a unified group. We cannot afford to ignore the difference between the two. We must remember in particular the utter chaos in governance and the virtual stagnation in economic and social development that resulted between 1986 and 1991, when a similar grouping gained control of the government of this country. It took us a long while to recover from that disaster. We must not repeat that mistake if our country is to meet the many challenges that lie ahead. The differences between the PNM and the others go further. For the past 9 years, we have been governing this country based on an absolutely clear vision to transform Trinidad and Tobago into a developed nation. Stemming from this fundamental new direction, we employed policies and programs for improvement in so many areas of national life with abundant evidence of success. Indeed, 18 months ago, when the world economy faced what has been described as the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression of the 1930s, Trinidad and Tobago withstood this serious situation and kept on the road to steady economic development. We were able to do this because of this government's sound macroeconomic policies combined with prudent economic management. Our economy has tripled in size and is now the largest ever in the history of our country. We now have the lowest level of unemployment since independence. Poverty has been reduced by more than half and continues to decline. Workers are now earning more than ever before. Tobago has experienced a wave of unprecedented development side by side with Trinidad, and for the first time ever, Tobago will see the development of a first-class industrial park, the Cove Eco-Industrial and Business Park, which will serve as a catalyst for the transformation of the Tobago economy and create new and permanent employment opportunities outside the tourism sector. The extension of the Claude Noel Highway to Charlottesville on a phased basis, the completion of the Shore Park Cultural Complex, the Scarborough Library, and the Financial Complex, the commencement of a new first-class road from Lekoto to Plymouth, the construction of a 5 million gallon desalination plant. And as the government focuses on keeping our island paradise green, clean, and serene, we will work hand in hand with the Tobago House of Assembly to ensure that what Tobago wants, Tobago gets. There is development in all areas of national life, including health, national security, community development, culture, and sport, and about which we have spoken extensively in our public meetings and in our manifesto. On the other hand, in spite of much talk and a manifesto, we do not yet know what those opposed to us would do to match our achievements. Of course, they have made general declarations and statements of intent, but anyone can do that, and their offerings certainly do not amount to anything nearing policy or studied analysis. It is just so easy to make promises of referenda on thorny issues if they do not have the courage to take a position. Besides, we do not yet know what is their vision for Trinidad and Tobago in this new century. We in the PNM have told you plainly what we intend to do to transform our country into a developed nation, to be among those who enjoy the highest standards of living in the world. We have subjected our ideas to intense scrutiny by the population for quite a while, and indeed have benefited from the critical input of our citizens. Unfortunately, those on the other side have given us nothing to chew upon. There is very little substance indeed in their pronouncements and publications. This is most irresponsible for any party, group, or amalgam seeking to administer the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago in this 21st century. As I say, the differences between the two are deep. We have made it pellucidly clear what we intend to do if re-elected tomorrow. They have promised that it is only when they get there that they will start considering what they could do. That is just not good enough. My fellow citizens, seeking office for personal satisfaction cannot be your driving force. You must know what you are going to do to take this country forward. On the other hand, we have told you specifically how we will ensure the continuing progress of our country. We have made it plain that we will diversify the economy through a multifaceted program which includes the establishment of strategic industries like aluminium, iron and steel and plastics, the fueling of the information industries through the establishment of the Tamana Industrial Park, the establishment of fiber optics to the curb, which will guarantee the high-speed internet connectivity, which is critical to increase productivity and efficiency within the private and public sectors. We will become one of the top 10 countries in the world in this field when this is accomplished. The continued modernization of the agricultural sector, including a quantum leap in agribusiness, the establishment of our international financial center based on realistic assessment of our strong financial sector and our country as presently the main capital market of the region, and our continued emphasis on the micro, small and medium enterprises sector, where thousands of new businesses have emerged over the last 9 years. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the difference between the PNM and the others on this critical matter of the economy. You've also heard little from our opponents that is truly developmental regarding the infrastructure of the country. On the other hand, we've told you repeatedly of several coming developments. We will build 6 new highway systems throughout Trinidad. We will build a rapid rail system. We will provide 4 more water taxis. More new air-conditioned buses have already arrived. New ports as well as new industrial estates are coming. We will also modernize our water and electricity systems. A master plan, including 4 desalination plants, has been developed. We will significantly increase our power supply. We will build 8 new state-of-the-art hospitals. And when we promise, we deliver.